What do you got, Aaron?
Okay.
Sell us, dude.
This is my pitch. Let me start by asking you guys a question. Gentlemen, what's the worst part about seeing a movie by yourself?
Nothing, actually. I really like it.
Nobody to kind of share that moment with.
Correct.
Depends on the movie, dude.
The answer is, Austin kind of nailed it, that intense feeling of loneliness you have in the pit of your heart and your stomach.
I like that feeling.
Think about it. Everybody else is there with their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their friends, their wife, their husband. But what about you, Johnny? What about you, Austin? You barely even talk to a human anymore to buy your ticket. You probably have a favorite kiosk. Am I right?
I do. I do it all on my phone.
Actually, your only friend is that tiny bottle of booze you snuck in, and that bottle of booze, just like the movie, will soon be over. And that nasty hangover called real life is your only reality. You leave the theater in the same hellish malaise you entered, hopeless, loveless, without meaning, alone. Maybe next week you'll use a different kiosk.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe sit in a different seat.
This is a big problem, though, am I right?
I'm listening.
Go ahead.
Well, if I got a movie for you, grab your popcorn, grab your soda, shower, shave, make sure you look good, because this summer comes the love story of your life. Join our strong, smart, beautiful, career-oriented female protagonist, Hannah. Now, she doesn't need a man to be happy, but still, she'd be open to companionship. Get to know her through her mid-20s as she discovers her strengths, her weaknesses, her ambitions, her sexuality, who she is as a woman. See her apartment, watch her cook dinner, meet her friends, laugh, love, admire her at her best, and be there for her at her worst. As Act 1 finishes, you will have fallen in love with her. But here's the twist. As Act 2 finishes, she will have fallen in love with you. Now get ready for the Act 3 ride of your life, as both you and Hannah try desperately to fall out of love with each other. See her struggle with herself, trying to convince both of you that this is only a movie and it needs to end. Watch her cry to be with you. Yearn to wrap her arms around you. Promise you that she's never felt this way about anybody before. See her at her most vulnerable, and yet...
Continue.
See her at her at her most vulnerable, and yet most beautiful, Johnny. Wait, is that her crying, or is that you? That's me. The movie ends with Hannah laying in bed next to you, wistfully playing with your hair and planning your lives together. A couple of kids, a home, a dog, a life, meaning, fulfillment, happiness. And yet you both know that this
Sorry.
and yet you both know that this movie is coming to an end. You have never felt this intimate with anybody ever. She looks so good. You would die for her. And the last shot is
How long is this movie?
Holy fuck.
And the last shot is Hannah looking right into your eyes, pleading with you. Please don't leave the theater. I don't want to die. No end credits. Let it sit. Let it sit.
It's marinating.
Dude, you'll meet somebody eventually.
Yeah, I was going to say, this sounds like you're really all about you, man.
How long is this movie?
Typical hour and a half, but I'm thinking it's actually going to be 2 hours, because the last scene is just going to hold out for an extra half an hour, and you're going to have to make that internal decision. Do I leave the theater?
Like a Marvel movie. At
And-
the credits.
Way better.
And you know what? I just want to say that I appreciate the time you put into that. I think it showed a lot of work.
I think that's the right word for it.
And I'm serious. And if I could ask some more questions, I'd love to get into it.
Why don't you placate me a little bit more? Yeah, please ask a question.
You didn't really. What's the plot
what
for the
is it
first
about?
act? There was
I was
no
about-
plot. You're like, follow her life, watch her do this, watch her do this. What's the plot?
I was going to let you go first. My first question was going to be like, what is it about? I don't really understand.
Okay, do you know, let me break it down into the 3 acts.